What's up, guy and girl players of WoW? This is Rutaro, aka Taro, and in this video I'll be showing you how to easily make gold with Jewelcrafting in patch 3.3.5. For more free WoW guides, check out my website at tarowowguides.com. Making gold with Jewelcrafting can sometimes seem complicated, but hopefully this video will simplify things. I'll be using several strategies to show what is working well and not so well in patch 3.3.5. Jewelcrafting does have some tough competition, so be prepared to duke it out with others on the auction house. This guide will show the average daily max and your server may do better or worse depending on its economy. To start off, you'll want to spend a few minutes doing the Dalaran Jewelcrafting daily. They're extremely easy and only require one item from a Northrend mob and a few uncommon gems. This one wants an item that drops off of any scourge in Northrend. No problem, I'll just fly over to Icecrown and kill this giant elite. If you can't kill this elite, the scourge on the ground will work as well. Alright, got the item and now back to Dalaran. The quest gives a Dalaran Jewelcrafter's token which I'll exchange for a Dragon's Eye to sell. If you still need designs, you can of course use it to purchase those instead. I don't, so it's a nice and easy 93 gold in 3 minutes. Next, I'll do the Jewelcrafting daily cooldown, which is to make an icy prism that could contain a Dragon's Eye and epic gems. Of course, my luck is off today and no epics or Dragon's Eye, but hey, it only costs 25 gold to make, and the gems sell for 76 gold cut to total a profit of 51 gold for a minute worth of effort. Okay, now to test out crafting rings to disenchant. I'll be making the Stone Guard band, which takes 2 Eternal Earths to make. But on your server, it may be cheaper to make the Shadowmite ring, which takes 1 Eternal Shadow and 1 Eternal Earth. Naturally, choose whichever is cheaper on your server. First, I'll buy some Eternal Earths from the auction house. Using the Eternal Earths I just bought from the auction house and ones from someone in trade, I'll craft 182 rings. Sitting in Orgrimmar crafting rings can get a bit boring, so feel free to do a battleground, daily heroic, or raid while you craft the rings. Sometimes I just sit at the farm in AB crafting away until someone tries to take the flag. Alright, it's about 17 minutes later and I've crafted all the rings. I'm sending them off to an alt to disenchant. If you don't have an enchanter, just ask someone in guild or trade to do it for you and make sure to tip them. Okay, now that all the rings are disenchanted, it's time to list the enchanting materials on the auction house. I like to list enchanting materials for 12 hours and in full stacks. If I don't have a full stack, I list in singles instead. It took about 25 minutes to craft and list all the rings while netting 2,053 gold, minus 1,688 gold in mats and tips, for a total of 365 gold in profit. That's not bad for 25 minutes, but profit margin percent wise is pretty bad. I do have some math to figure out if it's worth it, which I'll list on my website. Alright, now to switch it up a bit and try out some prospecting by buying some titanium and serenite off the auction house. First though, you gotta know if it's even worth it, right? For titanium ore, if the average epic gem price is just under the price for a stack of titanium ore, it's worth it. For serenite ore, if the average rare gem is twice the cost of a stack of serenite ore, it's worth it. You can always try to get ore for cheaper by having a miner COD you a set amount every day, or by whispering them when you need it. Okay, so I ended up with 8 stacks of titanium ore and 42 stacks of serenite ore, and now to prospect them. It's a good idea to have a prospecting macro like the one I'm using and set your loot to auto. Just like crafting rings, you can also prospect while you do other things like wait for people to run back after wiping on the Lich King or something. Alright, the prospecting took about 15 minutes and netted an average amount of gems. Back in the day, you didn't even need to cut the gems to make a profit, but now you have to if you want to make any decent return. I'll be cutting all the gems into the highest price best sellers. To make things easier, I'll have a list of popular cuts on my website. After you get everything cut, it's time to list the gems on the auction house. With so many gems, this can be a pain, so I like to use the Quick Auctions 3 add-on combined with Auctioneer to make it a bit easier. For guides on both add-ons, check my website. For gems, I like to undercut by 1 silver and list them for 12 hours. Alright, prospecting the titanium ore, cutting, and listing the gems took about 20 minutes, netted 2,606 gold, minus 1,832 gold in materials, for a total of 774 gold in profit. Serenite ore on the other hand took 35 minutes to prospect, cut, and list gems while netting 1,422 gold, minus 546 gold in materials, for a total profit of 876 gold. Both are decent, but Serenite ore still has the least amount of risk while maintaining a large profit. But here's the thing, you can only sell so much a day with the lower demand, so don't expect to become rich overnight. Okay, so I showed prospecting to get uncut gems, but you could also just straight buy them from the auction house instead. Flipping gems is one of the easiest ways to make gold with jewel crafting and usually has the least amount of risk. Simply buy some uncut cheap epic gems from the auction house or spam trade to buy directly from players, cut them into high price, decent sellers, list them, and collect good profit from a few minutes worth of effort. Here I netted 1,809 gold, minus 960 gold in materials, for a total of 849 gold in profit. Yes, 849 gold for seemingly cheap gems taking a mere 5 minutes to search, cut, and list. It's super easy gold and great for those limited on time. Alright, next we'll take a look at metas. They are one of my favorites to sell because they usually have a very large profit margin, are in good demand, and don't have a million different types. So I bought 17 Earth Siege and 20 Sky Flare diamonds from the auction house, cut them into the highest best-selling metas, and listed them for 12 hours. It took about 10 minutes to make them and list them and a little over a day to sell them, while netting 1,913 gold, minus 856 gold in materials, for a total profit of 1,057 gold. Pretty sick for 10 minutes worth of effort, but that was the limit. Had I made any more, I wouldn't be able to sell them. Okay, so what about epic jewelry? Well, don't expect it to do too well. The profit margin is low and the sale rate isn't great either. I usually only make the tanking titanium earth guard chain and ring, if anything at all. Just like gems, I only list them for 12 hours. I sold both of these in a little over a day, but they normally take a few days to sell. Because there are so many other easily obtainable ring and necklace epics, the profit margin is pretty small, and the demand is way low. They both sold for 1,424 gold total, minus 1,108 gold in materials, for a total of 316 gold in profit. Not bad for a minute of buying materials off the auction house, pressing a button twice to craft them and twice to list them, but percentage-wise could be too risky for some. Well, that's all the different jewel crafting strategies that will be covered in this video. It took a total of 2 hours to do all of this, which netted 11,398 gold, minus 7,017 gold in materials, for a total of 4,381 gold in sweet profit that only took a little over a day to make. I'll list out all the details on my website with full breakdowns. So I bet you're wondering, what is the best way to make gold with jewel crafting, right? Well, some combination of what's in this video and on my website. Smart people diversify to cover a bigger market and rake in more cash. On a final note, don't think just because you don't have a bazillion gold you can't do well with jewel crafting or any other profession for that matter. So what? You don't have 10,000 gold to spend. Anything in this video can be cut down to almost any budget. Do the dailies and spend a few hundred gold to make a few rings to disenchant, gems to cut, or ore to prospect. So that's it for this jewel crafting gold guide for patch 3.3.5, and I hope you can bank off of it. Please subscribe and visit tarowowguides.com for more free WoW guides. Thanks for watching. Now go PvP or something.